we've been battling against human trafficking now for many, many years. And when I first got elected, human trafficking wasn't even recognised as a crime, and it took a lot of effort by MPs on the all-party group against human trafficking to get Labour to recognise it. And then when we had David Cameron and then Theresa May, they moved the process forward. But the private members bill route is a way of getting issues raised on trafficking and getting action taken. And I noticed one of the bills that I'm proposing this year about protecting child victims of human trafficking, I tried in 2015. And one of the co-signatories to that bill was Mr. Philip Davis. And I think the people on the left hate the fact that people from the right care about these issues and have actually achieved more than all the left talk over years and years.
Now, Peter, you've campaigned on the issue of human trafficking for many, many years in Parliament, virtually since you got into Parliament. So, how big a problem is this in the UK?
It's huge. I mean, while across the world there are more people in slavery today than when William Wilberforce was alive, the estimate at the moment is there's around 100,000 victims of human trafficking in the UK every year. Of about a tenth of that, say 10,000, are rescued and looked after very well by the British government. But that's far, far too many. And we need to get rid of these evil trafficking gangs. They're the same gangs that run drugs, run guns, do smuggling. They're the evilest people on the planet. And I'm afraid our legal system isn't getting enough of these people put away behind bars for long periods. I mean, there were, I think, 91 prosecutions in 2020. That's very, very small. But only 13 of those resulted in conviction. So I'm promoting a private member's bill which would require the government to make prosecution of human traffickers easier with longer sentences.
Peter, can I ask you, what sort of trafficking are we talking about here? Is it sex sort of trafficking or is it workers trafficking?
It's both. When trafficking first came to the forefront, it was sexual trafficking. And for instance, you might have some girls in Hungary who were promised a job in London. They're brought into the country legally, but then they are forced into prostitution. They're locked in a terraced house with the locks are on the outside of the room, so they are effectively repeatedly raped. It is an evil crime, and some of these women and girls, of course, are not even 18 years old. It is an absolute appalling situation, and we've done very, very well in this country. We've led Europe in the prosecution and rescue of these victims, but it still goes on because we're not breaking these gangs up as well as we could do, and it's a stain on the whole of Europe that we can't do more to stop the traffickers.